Assalamualaikum, Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. My name is Agave Jordan. My name is 1122000007. Okay, my topic is processor. I will uh, describe about processor. Okay, uh, in 1971, the component for what was truly called a microprocessor was made for the first time by engineers from the Intel Electronic Company. The chip is named Intel 4004 and designed by Ted Hoff, Frederick Frege, and Stan Mazer. At the time, semiconductor circuits had been developed with a complexity of 1000 transistor for 100 transistor per circuit. Okay, next I will describe about processor advantage. The first is the brain of computer. Processor are usually what is often referred to as the brain of a computer is an IC, internet circuit, that controls the entire course of a computer system. Use a computer control center that functions to perform calculation and carry out tasks. Okay, and the second is maintain computer performance. Intel has better performance overall. Intel's strengths are not only prominent on one side, but as a whole, such as multimedia matters and power efficiency. And the third, processor support the specific needs of the computer. Intel has the highest specifications compared to other variants. This processor is suitable for hardcore gamers and PC enthusiasts who need high gaming performance and don't heat up quickly. And the four, perform mathematical operations according to instructions given by the users. The processor has a role to perform mathematical operations according to instructions given by the user, perform all arithmetic calculations that occur in accordance with a program instructions. And the last, temporary data storage area, which is small in size and has high access speed. The processor is a temporary data storage area that is small in size and has high access speeds. Okay, next. I will explain about processor disadvantages. The first is disadvantages in terms of graphics. Intel graphics quality is still inferior to AMD. To maximize its graphics, it is not uncommon for laptops that use Intel to have additional discrete graphics so that the graphics get better. The second, weak in terms of price. Intel has a market price that can be said to be quite expensive when just just posed with other brands of processors. That's because Intel has already had a well-known reputation in the world market. Um, the third, uh, gets hot easier. Okay, while at work, AMD processor generates more heat. That's because AMD doesn't use heatsinks at its main cooling component. Some EMDs still use fan as a cooling components. Okay, the four loss in terms of multimedia. EMD has a smart detecting features. For example, when we do multitasking, EMD will detect which one uh, we are using. From the EMD will focus on the application we use while the rest is made to sleep temporarily. And the last, branding loses branding loses branding loses to competitors. Uh, Intel processor was produced earlier than AMD. This then made Intel as a processor trusted by many computers users, so that it was superior to brands than AMD. Okay, next. Okay, I will explain about processor compare basic to brand. As we know, that's two brand of processor. The first is Intel, and the second is AMD. The first compare is AMD integrates a memory controller into its processor, so that the data path between the processor and the chipset is shorter. Intel doesn't integrate this memory controller into its processor, although now that view has changed with the presence of Core i7, yeah, and focuses more on planting internal memory on the processor. And the second point, uh, for EMD, embedding a memory controller, which is often referred to as hyper transport into the processor, makes the data transfer rate faster. Yeah, because data doesn't have to wait from main memory, but makes the internal memory on the processor smaller. And for Intel, the integration of a large processor internal memory, yeah, obtained from planting a large number of transistors, makes it powerful in terms of multi-threading applications because it relates to the main functions of the processor's internal memory itself, uh, as a temporary data store that will be processed by the processor, but less power and the price range. And the last point, EMD is more aimed at gaming, while Intel is aimed at heavy applications. Because in gaming, it doesn't require a large processor memory. Yeah, we are IT people often called that L2 cage. Yeah. Um, but fast data transfer now taken over by the GPU. Okay. Uh, that's my describe about my topic processor. Uh, Sekian dan terima kasih.